Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's World Cup Wednesday with me, Chris. Welcome to EPL Across the Pond. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. Welcome, everybody. We've got another fantastic show ahead of us today. Today, we're going all the way back to Russia in 2018. Gary's not available tonight, but we do have a special guest that we're going to introduce very, very soon. But quickly talk about what we're going to talk about on tonight's show. We're going to go back to Russia. We're going to talk about all the good, the bad, and the ugly that happened in 2018. We'll talk a little bit about the upcoming World Cup this summer. If you've not done so already, I'm sure you have. Why wouldn't you? Subscribe on our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. We're on TikTok. TikTok. What else are we on? We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. As always, if you have an opinion, reach out to us in the comments. This is your show just as much as it is our show. And we'd like to welcome any kind of inputs you have to get us through the next 45 or minutes, maybe with a little bit of extra time as well. Okay, Gary's on his sabbatical tonight. He is doing something to enhance the future of US soccer. As you know, Gary is a professionally licensed soccer coach in the United States, something that me and him started doing 24 years ago now. Shit, it goes pretty quick. I went into a different venture and got into the world of art, and Gary continued in that profession. So right now he is coaching some people. I don't know what he's coaching, but he's coaching, and he's getting ready for the next stages of US soccer. But I'll talk about my little journey and bringing into tonight's special guest or special co-host that we have on the show. So I moved to Miami in 2015 with my job. And just at that time, I met a young lady who further down the line became my wife and the mother of my offspring, shall I say. And it was an interesting time because we both moved to Miami in 2015. And she's American. I'm obviously from England. And it was an interesting point where the World Cup was coming up, right? So we had the World Cup coming up to get at home to that. I took her back to England, took her into football and got involved in that kind of thing. So what we're doing on tonight's show is we want to take a different look at it and a different take. So we're having someone talk about 2018 that was also brand new, pretty much to soccer or football, but also brand new to World Cups. So without further ado, it's my wife. Hello. How are you?
Hate to disappoint.
No disappointments there. No disappointments there. Edie Southeastern Scouser, welcome to the show. My wife's been told all about you, so we're familiar with it, who's on the show and who's coming on and whatnot. So this is my wife. This is Katie. The reason I brought Katie on tonight is because it was her first World Cup with me as a couple, and I wanted to bring in and have a little different perspective because Gary and I waffle on about football because we're so-called pros. You know, we played the game at a top level. We coached at a top level. But we've not brought a novice in, but someone who's been new to it and accustomed to it and brought around the field and that kind of thing. So welcome. Welcome, honey. How are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you? Happy birthday, baby.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes. All welcome. All welcome. If you'd like to sponsor me or give me a donation for my birthday, more than welcome as well. So I brought you on the show tonight. Obviously, because Gary's pretty much, you couldn't get anybody else, if I'm perfectly honest, but we'll look at it that way. But Gary couldn't make it. But I thought it'd be a good idea because 2018, you and I were around and we just started dating. No, 2018, we actually were married and had a kid by then.
I was pregnant.
Yeah, pregnant. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to get at. So let's strip it down. We'll go off on tangent. There's no script. We just go all over the place as the guests and the viewers of the show know. So do you remember your first impressions of the World Cup in 2018?
Yes. And I think that for me, the biggest impression that I had with everything was just the wow factor. I knew nothing about it and how big it was and the way that all the different countries were involved. We went into Miami to do the viewing party, and I was just astounded by just the way it melted everyone together in the same room and how just the energy was amazing.
The fun time. So I'll bring a little picture up as well, and that's
oh my gosh,
that's going back a bit.
That was a good day. That was fun.
I had a bit more hair back in those days as well,
Uh,
which happens. It happens in there. So that was me and you at our first watch party, should we say, in Miami. You were,
yeah,
I think, 5 months pregnant at that time.
uh,
So
a little
yeah,
more. Maybe.
interesting point to look at it as well. So we've dragged you. The other friend of is a friend of ours, Adam. He's from Michigan as well, who's living in Florida. We've basically I
Awesome. A
basically
little
dragged you. Yeah, I basically dragged you both out to the watch
rough.
party to check how it was and look at the game and introduce her as well. Heavy Kev's in tonight. Hi, Katie. Commiserations having a Forest supporter for her husband.
Right?
All right, let's start the
Yeah,
show.
I like Forest, but yeah, no.
We'll get to start to the meeting on. So let me ask you this. I'll ask you a few questions off the top of the dome and everything. What kind of confused you most about, first watching football? Because I guess prior to me, this is all new to you, right?
I mean, obviously, like all your accents. I hate to be like, how American do you want me to be on this? I can't understand anybody. I couldn't way back in the day.
So when we went to the watch party, I had a couple of friends of mine from England. So there was a guy from Liverpool, there's a guy from Newcastle, and me being a
Yeah.
watered down mank from Manchester. My accent's not what it was. All sat around kind of this big screen in Miami watching the England Colombia game. So, well, I'll say this, be careful how you answer this. Did you have a team or a player that you naturally rooted for, and why?
I mean, England, right? It's all I knew. I was brand new to this, and it was, yeah, England.
So I'll backtrack a little bit. So 2018, obviously, we had the watch party in Miami. A
Sure.
couple of years before that, I think it was 2016.
Mhm.
We were back in Manchester, and I took you to go and watch actually United game. We went to watch United versus Chelsea. So what surprised you most about football fans?
I think the swearing, that was a bit, I was definitely surprised by that. And I mean, the one story I tell all the time that I thought was so funny were they had to have been season ticket holders, right? They were apart from each other just a few rows, and they were just like back and forth fighting with each other. And then at the end of the game, he gets up. The one guy's like, say hello to the missus for me. And I was just like, what is going on here? It was funny. There was a lot of banter that I didn't expect.
So yeah, one of the things you find that I find over the years and stuff, it's fans tend to argue with their own fans, and it's
Yeah.
disagreements about sometimes playing same teams. Certain players should be playing, or certain players like certain players on the team. Excuse me, certain ones detest them. So you do get that friendly kind of argument, but it's weird, like you say. It's like when the game's done, and we all go home, it's all completely different. So
Yeah.
I couldn't understand my wife when I met her. It's a language of football, Kev. It's literally a language of love. So,
Yeah, and that's the big joke, is that's how we ended up getting, how he got me to marry him, is I couldn't understand anything he was saying.
I guess it goes that way. So, at what point did you start getting into football? Because when we started dating, I'd watch the
Yeah.
games Saturday, Sundays. But at what point did you say, "Oh, this is okay"?
No, that was, yeah. So we really started getting into it, and it was cool because it was, what I like about it as an American girl that doesn't really, I know nothing about sports, right? So this is a whole different world that I'm into. I'm dating this English guy. I liked that it was this very structured 90 minutes. It didn't run into a million overtimes like American football. It was just kind of, you see what you get. And then I loved the idea too. Like I really kind of embraced the whole English culture. And then we were doing roasts. So we would, start the roast. Then by the end, it was ready to go. Really, everything just kind of, it was a good time.
I'll go back to when we were young, before the
Yeah.
kids and all the
I
kind
was
of.
pregnant in that photo.
I just
I
thought
was
you had
pregnant there.
very
Wasn't
very
it?
very
Yeah.
healthy set of lungs. But either way, but we'll go from there. So.
Uh-huh.
All right. So, what do you think of like the non-stop England hype? And again, I don't want to put it too much of an England show, but obviously you're around the English fans and everything, and
Right.
all the hype of it's coming home, and this is this time. How did you break that down? Do you think we were all just desperately sad, or what was your breaks?
No, I mean, I thought it was so cool. And it was something that I, again, had no idea. So coming into this, it's like a culture, it's a lifestyle, it's more than I ever realized. So it was very surprising to me to see it. I just was completely oblivious. I came in, I had no idea.
Okay. Was there any players you took an eye for?
I mean, like a crush on?
Well,
when I
just
was,
well,
yeah.
obviously players that maybe you like to put you an eye on football, but anyone during that World Cup at that time?
Well, well, you know that I spotted Rashford right at his first game. That was cool. That's when I really started liking football as well, because I felt like I kind of was starting to understand it enough where I could spot a star player. But yeah, it was his first game, and when he came in, he scored, I think, 2 goals that game.
Against
And I was
Arsenal,
like,
yeah.
that guy, I don't know who he was brand new. He was 18. I was like, I don't know who that kid is, but he's going to be a star. Like, and then I loved to just watch him and his career blow up after that. That was cool. I felt really invested after that. That was
All
kind of
right.
my moment where I bonded.
So World Cup this summer, USA hosting it with Canada and
Mhm.
Mexico. What are you excited most to experience about it this summer?
I think, I'm a mom, so I just want the kids to be part of it this year. I think they're old enough. They're really excited. They're, really, they've got their players they like. And so I think as a family, I'm ready for that whole experience. It's going to be fun.
Experience. And
Yeah.
who are you gonna be rooting for?
England.
Any teams you want to root against?
No, I don't want to root against anyone. No.
All right. So let me ask you this then. Obviously, being fairly new to it now. So, what do you think America's ready for World Cup fever?
Well, I don't think that they have any idea how huge this is. It's a whole nother level. It's something I couldn't even wrap my mind around. And I don't even think I'm ready for what it's going to be when it comes over here.
It's gonna be fun.
It'll
It's
be
gonna be all
cool.
right. Rapid fire questions.
Oh boy.
Rapid
Okay.
fire questions. All
Oh,
right.
rapid
Well, you've
fire.
been watching it for a few years now, so you got to understand it as well. Feel free to join along in the comments if you want to play the rapid fire questions as well. All right. Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Premier League football or the World Cup?
Premier League.
Okay.
I know I have a hard time saying it. I can't Premier.
All right. Favorite football shirt?
Sorry?
Favorite
What?
football shirt?
Okay, so I feel like I have to say United because it's like who we root for, but I love, what is it? It's Palace, right? Is that what it is?
Crystal
That's
Palace.
Crystal
Yeah.
Palace. I love the colors. As a girl's girl, I'm like, kind of wish that those were the colors that I get to wear.
So Heavy Kev will like this because Heavy Kev is a big Crystal Palace fan. So
Okay.
we were watching a game years ago now. We were watching a game and it was Palace versus somebody. And you said something along the lines, I think that's my new team. And I was like, why? I just like the kits. I like the uniform. I like the shirts. We'll go from there. Okay. So you're a United and Forest fan and a closet Crystal Palace fan.
Yeah.
The Colgate strip. Is that what it's called? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. The Colgate strip. Okay.
Like
Interesting.
toothpaste. Like,
All right. I forgot where I was now. My rapid fire questions. Best football anthem.
oh, come on. I'm from Detroit. It's got to be Seven Nation Army, right? White
All right.
Stripes.
Nah,
And
nah, nah,
that
nah,
came
nah,
on.
nah,
Okay.
nah.
And we were dating. So we were at the Old Trafford, right? And we were still we were dating. So it was before that, like, when you know kind of a thing. And I felt at
I
that
did.
moment, well, you knew right away. I knew right away too. But I felt like at that moment, it was like, well, we've been living on different continents like our whole life. We're into these, but somehow it brought us together, like our cultures. For one moment, I was like, this is wild. We've got Detroit, like, in England. It felt really cool. It felt like a little God wink almost. Like, yeah.
Can you see the screen?
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
Our youngest son, his middle name's Bonham, so that tells you everything you need
I
to
had
know
to
as
do
well.
it.
All right. Who's your biggest football crush?
I mean, we all have to bend it like Beckham, right?
Oh, it's not me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go. We don't play anymore. I don't play anymore. All right. Moving on.
We just listen to Posh. Anything that she would tell us to do, we just.
All right.
And I didn't even know. Oh, sorry.
No, carry on. Go on.
No, I didn't even know that he was football. I didn't know he was sports or anything. It was just like, her arm.
Made you a Spice Girl, right?
Yeah, you had the purple wedding thing going. I mean, he was.
Right, that's the vibes. All right, best World Cup snack.
Okay.
Or best football snack.
Okay, those folded over pies with the little curry and the chicken in them. What
chicken balti pies.
Yes. And then you take a bite and it's hot. It burns your mouth and all the steam comes out. Divine.
Simple times. Simple times.
I'm dead.
Right. Last one. One stadium you'd love to go visit.
Wembley, right? Yeah.
Just iconic. Just is what it
Yeah.
is. Not
I mean,
good
how do
stuff
you
as
not?
well.
That's Freddie, right? That's the one Freddie Mercury too did his.
They did Queen. Yeah, Queen did the Live Aid thing there for many years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm all over the place.
No. So let me just.
You're reviewing a girl.
So, what advice would you give to new football fans for 2026
Hmm.
that are new to this experience for the first time?
I mean, just like
Oh, there you go. Oh, shit.
no. You
Heavy
know, I invited Robert Plant to our wedding. I did. I literally hunted down his address and sent him an invite to our wedding. He did not come, but he
He was invited all the same. So he was busy that day, I think. It was
that would
probably
have been
with,
really cool.
probably with Heavy Kev. He's probably with Heavy Kev making some music and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you could relive
Like
one moment
Right.
from 2020, from 2028, from 2018 at that
Right.
World Cup, what would it be? What's the
A
one
moment
thing that
of-
really, the one part of that World Cup that really stands out for you?
I mean, okay. In fairness, it was, you have to remember, I was heavily pregnant. It was like 300 degrees out, right? And I feel like it was just, the vibe was still so cool. So not a whole lot of like the technicalities I was
Right.
really paying attention to. I think I was too uncomfortable. I was so pregnant. But it was like the vibe that I don't think I can ever forget. How cool and what a moment. Like we were all just having fun, cheering, sticking to each other in the little seats. The fans were blowing at us. And it was just like, it was cool. It was fun.
I tend to forget that we had that little two-seater Mercedes sports car at the time.
Yeah.
And we'd driven downtown to watch the Viewfest thing. You were 5 months pregnant and I was getting hammered. It wasn't really a wise thing to do, because if anything would have happened, we've got to get in a little two-seater sports car, find the nearest hospital, which we had no idea where it was, and would have been a good time and everything.
Yeah, I definitely drove you home that day, so that was fun.
What are you looking forward to most about the summer? Last couple of questions. What are you really looking forward to most about this summer and the World Cup?
I just think it's going to be really fun for the boys. Like I said before, like I think the kids are going to really enjoy it. They're old enough now where they understand what's going on. They have their little players that they can watch. And I think it's just going to be cool. And the snacks.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. Do you want to hang around, or do you want to run off, or do you want to go and come back? Or
I mean, I can go. Yeah, it's up to you guys, but yeah, I can go.
Okay. Well, we'll start the conversation in a minute. We'll start the chat and the talk and everything. Thank you, wifey. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Happy birthday.
Thank you. See you in about half an hour when I finish work.
I'm done now, right?
You're done. You can log off now. You can log off. Thank you. All right. A little bit different, right? A little bit different. Thought I'd get the wife on. Hopefully you guys learned something new. Now we can get back to football. We can talk about the good stuff as well. So Russia 2018. First question of the day. Which two teams qualified for the first ever time? Which two teams qualified for the first ever time in that tournament? So let's go through the stats and all the good things of the tournament. 32 teams, 12 stadiums were used. 9 of these were new builds, brand new builds for a World Cup. It was in Russia. There was a lot of controversy about it being in Russia for politics. I almost said the guy's name, political reasons and all that kind of good stuff and forward. Hence, it still went ahead. I'd be blunt to say, and I don't know if Gary or anybody else on the EPL team would go along with me. I'll let her know, Kev. I'll let her know. Would go along with me at this point as well. But I would say, looking back, Russia was probably one of the best World Cup tournaments in terms of goals, excitement, play, youth players coming through. We saw the arrival of Mbappe onto the world stage. I would say, looking back now, it was one of the better tournaments of the last probably 50, 60 years, because it literally had a little bit of everything. Interesting facts. Italy, it was the first time they failed to qualify for a World Cup since 1958. They haven't qualified for a World Cup since. I'll just drink that in for a second. USA didn't qualify. It's the first time they didn't qualify since 1986 as well. Since 1986. It was the first tournament to use VAR. So there was a video assistance refereeing. It was the first tournament in the World Cup to use it. There was a couple of controversial decisions and things that happened during the tournament from it, but it was the first one to ever use VAR. Player of the tournament was Luka Modric. We really saw the Croatians really blossom during that tournament, going from literally strength to strength to strength, make it to the final. Top scorer of the tournament was Harry Kane. Hopefully will be this tournament as well, but you never know with all that kind of good things. One of the interesting facts, there was 12 own goals during that tournament, which was a record. The highest previous to that was 6 in 1998. So we had a record number of own goals during that tournament. Okay, first question. Which two teams qualified for the first ever time? Iceland and Panama. Iceland and Panama. First time they ever qualified for the first ever time. All right, let's get on some good stuff. What we've got. You're too slow, Kelly. You're too slow. I'll try and get it back. Let me send a text, see if she comes. Can you stop back 4, 5? You got no excuses, Kelly, because you weren't making Gary's tea because he was, he's not there tonight. So let's go through the bits and pieces and stuff. Let me make sure I can do this because Gary's normally the one that clicks around and all the kind of clickety roo. All right, this is the ball. Anybody know what the ball was called? Anybody know what the ball was called? This was the Telstar. The Telstar 18. What was interesting about this tournament, actually had two balls. The Telstar was used during the group station, and the Telstar Mekta was actually used during the knockout games for the tournament as well. So we had a 2-ball tournament. Gary does this so much more elegantly and more quicker than me. I just keep clicking around till something makes sense. There we go. It was a 2-ball thing for the tournament as well. For that, I'll see if the wifey. Oh, what's the password? What's the password? Always have a password on your computer, boys and girls. Anybody know what this guy was called? Anybody got an idea what this guy was called? The official mascot. Tournament mascot was Zabivaka. Don't say that after you've had a few cocktails. It might come up a bit sideways and stuff. So you know me, I love my mascots. I love all the kind of fun things involved with it. Live It Up by Will Smith, Nicky Jam, and Ira. Him. That was the official song for the World Cup. So I like my official mascots. I like my official songs. That's just simply the way it goes. Is it under podcast? Oh, my Lord. Click the link. I'll try and get her in. She's upstairs. If anyone could just stop by and just pop upstairs and teach Katie how to log in on a computer, that'd be perfect as well. So we had the official mascots. I wanted to bring her on for the kits actually because she likes that. So I'll come back to the kits in a second. So one of the things that came from this World Cup is when we normally do go through the games and everything, we have a lot of. Sorry, we always struggle to find more than like 3 or 4 amazing games that we talk about. My personal favorite from this tournament was Portugal versus Spain. And this was the one where Ronaldo scored a hat-trick. And the last one, hang on. The last one he scored was the amazing free kick where he beat David De Gea. Let me just send this. I can hear the footsteps. I'll get her on in a minute, boys and girls. We'll get her on in a minute. It was the David De Gea free kick with the Ronaldo hat trick. Another favorite game I had from this tournament was Germany, who were actually the holders, and they went out in the first round of the group stages. Their last game, they lost to South Korea 2-0. If you remember that game, South Korea. Oh, she's back on. Hello, got you there. We're just talking about South Korea.
Okay.
Just in general. So I want to bring you on for this section here because we talked a little bit before this, and we were talking about kits.
Okay.
So one of the things that this is Gary's segment. Obviously, Gary's not here today, so we'll bring the kits up and everything. So, which ones of these really stand out for you? Now, the way I would describe it, because we don't have any names on them, I do them in row numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then pick a number.
Okay. Well, obviously, I like row 1, the first one, because it looks like a little United kit.
The top left, number 8.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And then if you go down to row 3.
Oh, you like the Argentina shirt, right?
Yeah. Okay. I would have thought it looks like Chelsea, though, right? Isn't that Chelsea colors?
Chelsea playing blue. It's got a little bit of blue in there as well,
right? Or no? See, I'm learning.
So some of the shirts that always stand out for us is Japan is always a favorite. Japan is row 4, the third one in from the left. It's the blue with the 7. Japan always they have killer shirts. They have really good shirts for the tournament. Nigeria
moved there to Japan a couple weeks ago, so he's there now.
The brother-in-law is living in Japan right now.
Yeah.
If you go 2 shirts directly above that, you'll get Nigeria. The Eagles always have a pretty tasty shirt on there. The one directly above that, James Rodriguez was pretty much one of the players of the tournament. Number 23, you've obviously got Colombia there. Any bad shirts on there, Kate? Any ones that you don't like?
I do like the 23. I like the 23 that goes across. It's like giving Ralph Lauren, right?
Whereabouts? On the right? Oh, second row down?
Yeah, second row.
Okay, you got Peru. You got Peru. Peru.
Yeah, I like that.
What else you got?
I don't know. There's none that I don't like. I feel like they're all cute. Yeah.
Row 2, third from the left. The green one, Cal? Nigeria. That's Nigeria. All right, you missed it. So Kelly wanted to see you. So Kelly's Gary's wife. So Gary calls it Kelly Fat Fingers. I don't think that's very nice, but hence the H6S7B. We don't know what that stands for and everything. So Nigeria got on there. Again, I still love Japan. England's is that one there?
No, because I love the lions on the England. That's cool.
Okay, so that's actually behind me. That was the one. I'll show a clip in a minute of me wearing that in Miami. I forgot all about that.
That's iconic.
We'll bring that on.
Yeah, it's Nigeria. I guess it's the neon. That would probably be the most difficult one to like style in a cute way and wear, I would think. So I can agree with that.
Oh, it's all about styling things now and styling things out. And
you've got your wife on here, so
okay, we'll go from there and bring it. So one of the fun videos that I was trying to find the other day, which I'll play the video now, and we'll just circle back to that. We'll circle back. It was Colombia versus England. It was a very hot day. You were 5 months pregnant, and I'd been out of training for drinking, right? Because when you got pregnant, I stopped drinking, and then I met up with some friends from Liverpool, Newcastle, and we just started drinking. I'll play this. Really captures everyone's attention, given this in my defense, it was a tough game. We'll get onto the games in a second. It actually went to penalties. It was the second round phase game. It went to penalties. England won. Oh, I'm just talking about won 4-3 on penalties. So we got there early. We didn't really understand what time the kickoff. Well, we knew what time the kickoffs were, but we got there early to, figure it out and have some fun and everything. So we did get down there pretty early, and I just started enjoying myself. I was happily married for several months and had the
several months. We were married for like almost a year at that point, right?
Something like that. I don't know. It goes so fast. Here we are 10 years later. It just a blink of the eye and everything. So it was a tense tournament. And so again, go back to the feelings of emotions and experiences. That was when you were really getting your first breath of a World Cup tournament. Mm-hmm. Here's me getting, not white girl wasted, but getting fairly relaxed.
You were, yeah.
It was hot. It was a hot day. It was Miami. It's the middle of summer. And you could really see the pressure that we're resulting to drink. Drink responsibly this summer, everybody. But it was a good time. It was a good time.
Yeah, you deserved it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. All right, you can go now if you want. Just wanted to bring you back because Kelly wanted to say hi and everything. And
I can stand for another few minutes if you want. I just had to give.
No, you're good. You're good. We're just going to talk about the end of the game. If you want to stay for the rest of the tournament. So going on to some of the key games that really stood out for me. I just mentioned a little bit earlier about the Korea and Germany game. One of the best games of that tournament for me was France versus Argentina. And that's when you saw the resurgence of Mbappe, and you realized that this was a team not to be reckoned with, which was going to be France, who, eventually went on to win it. But this was when Mbappe burst onto the scene as a young whippersnapper, knocking out one of the favorites, Argentina, Messi's Argentina, moving on to the next phase. You had England beating Colombia, quarterfinals, France beating Uruguay, Brazil going out to Belgium. Belgium were some of the people's favorites for that tournament. That was kind of their golden area. England beat Sweden. I don't even remember watching that game, if I'm perfectly honest. The host Russia go out to Croatia. France beating Belgium. And then the semi-finals. Sorry, France beat Belgium. The other semi-final, we didn't go out for this. We cooked food at the house for it. I think we had a barbecue. And England lost to Croatia after extra time. England scored after 5 minutes. Kieran Trippier scored a free kick. And excuse my language, I literally lost my shit because I thought after all these tournaments, there you go. Hi, Katie. All these tournaments, and way before Katie had seen me witness all this kind of England dramatic and all that kind of good stuff, I thought this is it. We're 1-0 up in the semi-final of a World Cup. We're going to go on and take it. Croatia equalized with about 20 minutes to go. It goes to extra time. Harry Kane has 3 or 4 chances to win it. Croatia get the winner, 109th minute, Mandukic, and England go out 2-1. And it was a sad sorrow day. In the other semi-final, I mentioned France scraped past Belgium. I completely agree with you, Kev. Hazard was awesome. If you guys aren't familiar with Eden Hazard, for about a 2-3 year window, I'd argue he was the best player on the planet. Him and Mbappe was still young, but Hazard was unstoppable for Chelsea when they won the league that year. I think they won the league. Just completely unstoppable as a player. World Cup, similar thing. So it goes into the third place playoff. England got battered by Belgium, only lost 2-0, but Hazard scored in that game. Could he easily have been a lot more. And then it goes to the final, France versus Croatia. I have a region for love for France. Been going there all my life. My family have a house there. We've been to France. We've been to the France house as well. So I've always had a strong connection with France ever since I was a little kid. My mom was a French teacher, and it was a really, really good final in terms of football, but it was French domination pretty much from the get-go. And they ended up rolling out Croatia 4-2 in the final. So a pretty exciting tournament. I forgot, I can't find my notes now. There we go. Pretty exciting tournament with France winning it. And it was really the catalyst that actually set France on the trajectory to be dominance in world football. And that's Russia 2018. Let's go back to Katie, shall we? Any questions in the comments for Katie? If you've got a question
talk about the hats.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I'll regret this, but I'll put mine on stuff. So, so one of the things, was this for the kids or we just do it?
We have to talk about, so we were watching one of the games.
It was the Euros, I think, wasn't it?
And I was like, pause the TV immediately and rewind. And you were
Somebody had that was it. Someone in the stands.
Yeah. And it was 4 young kids and they had them on. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening there, but like, please clue me in. And I mean, I feel like it was before we could Google image search things. So you really had to go looking for these.
We had to Google before Google Images. You had to Google. And we found them. There was a dodgy place in, it wasn't even in England. It's somewhere in Europe. And we got a load and then.
About an acquisition. This is what I'm talking about.
These will be a killer. So you won't be able to find these this summer. Not for the. They're actually pretty good. They're actually pretty. You got yours on as well.
I'm obsessed.
There you go. There you go.
With this
from the runways of Miami to the main streets of Michigan.
Who wouldn't want to wear this?
Exactly. Exactly. So again, I think we've got 2 more shows left now. I'm trying to think. Let me just pull up my calendar because we don't have that many more Wednesdays left before we go live in the summer with the World Cup. I think we've got 1, 2. I think there might be 3 more shows. 1, 2, 3. There. 3 more World Cup Wednesdays before the summer. We'll be doing some watch-alongs. We might get you to do some watch-alongs if that's okay with you. Yeah, where you have to sit down and watch a game, and we can listen to what you think and what
never in my life,
and everything.
Right, and never in a million years you could knock me over with a feather had you told me that one day I would be on a podcast about football, right? But yeah, sure, I'll do it.
All right. So one last thing before we call it a night for everything for Russia 2018. So we're now in the USA, Mexico, and Canada, coming up for this summer. I'm excited for it, as you probably know. I've been doing this show for the last several weeks now, and I'm absolutely buzzing around this show, around this World Cup coming up and stuff and whatnot. If England do go all the way and they win the thing, what are we going to do?
I mean,
what are we going to do? Is that you completed the game?
I feel like you're tricking me into saying something.
No, I'm really not. I'm really not. I'm just trying to put it out there.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
All right. Before we go, we have had a competition for the last couple of weeks. I'm going to take this thing off now because it's just.
I thought it looked great, but okay.
Thank you. Well, you can keep yours on. It's fine. It's fine. So for the last couple of weeks, we've been doing a competition. Big competition time now. I'm going to find my drum roll and stuff. Again, Gary can. There we go. So we're doing a competition. The last couple of weeks, we have a World Cup jersey of your choice to give away. This is the USA's for this summer. This is England's for this summer. But any team you want that's playing in the World Cup, any size. You could be small, you could be medium, you could be bigger. That's fine. So we had a little competition. We ran it for the last couple of weeks, and the competition was you had to subscribe to our YouTube channel and then DM us a screenshot of the YouTube channel that you're a subscriber. Gary has picked a winner, but as always, I didn't think it was fair because we had a lot of people enter this, and thank you for following us. And if you haven't followed us yet on YouTube, please do. It's free. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and all the rest of it and whatnot. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a subscribe. There we go. It's fun. So we do the show twice a week. Tomorrow we've got Premier League Thursday preview. The Premier League is getting exciting now. City won today. We've got the relegation battle. We've got the FA Cup coming up this weekend. We've got a jam-packed action show tomorrow night. Tune in, same time, 7:30. Could be the wife. Who knows who we're going to drag onto the show tomorrow night as well. So all things Premier League. We've only got 2 more weekends of Premier League football left. It's kind of sad, but the World Cup starts. So I'll go back to the World Cup and we'll talk World Cup. So Gary has picked us some winners. I say winners because we're not just doing one winner. One winner is going to get a World Cup shirt, and that person is... Oh, hang on. Michael Freeman. Michael Freeman, congratulations. Congratulations, Michael. You have won a World Cup jersey of your choice. Now, it must be a team in the World Cup. No Italy, no Ireland, or anyone that didn't make it. It's a... Okay. Well, I'll just call it a day. I'll call it a day, Kevin. We'll step forward as well. Yeah, I grew up in a school that was a rugby school, and I played rugby in school and whatnot, and would have loved my boys to get into rugby. They just don't have it in the States. Probably a little bit violent for my little wimpy kids as well. So Michael, you've won a shirt of your choice. We'll reach out to you. I'm sure you're watching, but we'll reach out to you as well. But what we've also done, well, no, actually, what I've decided to do, because there was 2 of the names in the draw that came out, 2nd and 3rd. You may remember our sponsors. Let me see if I can do this actually now. Bear with me, Kate. Gary does all this stuff. I just kind of look pretty. All right. Numazane. Numazane is our official sponsor for the show. There is a video somewhere for Numazane. Again, that's why I shouldn't be doing things, because that was the wrong clip to show, but you got the gist of it. So Numazane, awesome football shirt company that we have. That's one of our sponsors of the show as well. Numazane, we're going to be giving away 2 shirts from Numazane. South Asian Soccer, you got one. Has to be. I'm so glad we got it as well. Heavy Kev, you got one too. We got one for Heavy Kev. So we're going to ship it all the way down to New Zealand. That's gonna. There goes my summer spending cash and stuff. We'll get shirts down to you guys as well. So South Asian Soccer and Heavy Kev will get you a Numazane shirt. Michael Freeman, congratulations! You got the big prize, the big kahuna, and that is a World Cup soccer jersey of your choice. I'm hoping he says England. If he doesn't, if he says, I think he's American. If he says US or whoever, we'll respect it. We'll go from there, and we'll be happy with it there as well. That's the show. What do you think, Kate? What do you think, honey? You watch every week, right? You watch every week.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. I love this show, so I'm glad. I was happy to be here. Thanks for.
All right, you watch it every week. Thank you. And again, if you've not done so, give us a follow on YouTube. Give us a follow, like, and subscribe as always to EPL Across the Pond. On Instagram, we do a lot of our posting on Instagram. If you want to drop us a DM, if you want to be part of the show, reach out, let us know. We have a new show that's coming up soon that we might need your help for it. It's a brainchild that I had. It's a show called Origins. We're going to be interviewing football fans all about their football teams, how they discovered them, how they got into them, how they got connected with them, and why they support who they support. So we've got a new show called Origins. It's going to be coming out pretty soon. We've only got a couple of these shows left. We've only got a couple of these World Cup Wednesday shows left. Kelly, how about you come on the show next week, Cal? How about you get the 2 girls that come on the show, and I'll interview you both, because Gary's busy again next week. So we'll go from there as well. Let's have a Led Zepp tribute.
Yes. I'll sing.
Why not? I mean, okay, how many times have you seen Robert Plant?
A lot. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot.
We saw his son, didn't we? We saw his son play, didn't we? Jason.
No, we saw, yeah.
Jason plays with, who's the guy from Van Halen?
Oh, right. Yeah, no, we saw him with with Van Halen. Did we see him with Van Halen?
Yeah, he was the drummer when we saw that. Sammy Hagar.
Yeah, that's what
we went to, and I'm not even into that shit. You are. We saw Sammy Hagar, and Jason played the drums for that band as well.
Yeah, it was really good. It was awesome.
No, it was good. Tomorrow night, live, 7:30, we have our Premier League preview show. Join in. We've got a big show to get through tomorrow night. We're almost there for that. We've got 2 more EPL shows coming up. We've got another guest. I can't even talk. You just wore me out tonight. We've got another guest viewer caller tomorrow. It's going to be joining in. One of my oldest friends from the United States. He's going to be co-hosting with me tomorrow. He's actually my former roommate, so he's got a lot of stories on me. I'm glad he won't want to bring out, because he's professional. He's also a Tottenham fan. So Kelly, it might be a good show for you to join in tomorrow night, so you can have your co-hosting Tottenham people on the show as well. I was trying to look for the Hugger Hotspur campaign, but we won't get into that, because that's just I'll explain to you later, Katie. I'll explain what that means. But that's it, everybody. Thank you so much. Appreciate you for all stopping by the show, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for having me.
Good night.
Night. Hey.
We're still on. I've not logged out yet. There we go. Goodbye, everybody.